Hi, Miss Nicole. How are you? How are you doing? Hi there, Michael. How are you doing, sir? How are you doing? Hi, MAPs. How are you doing? Hey, there is a KH Carolinable. Hi there, Chanel. How are you? Hi, Erica. Is it Adelesso? Allison? Kim. Okay, hey, Kim. Hi, Angel. Tick Star, Shawnee, how are you? Hi, Mystique. Oh, I'm glad you're here too. I'm doing great. Thank you, Michael. Hey, Sharice. Hi, Kimberly. Maram, Candy. Let's see. Hiwa Matomoto. Okay. Miss K. Hey there, Stevie Bananas. How are you? Hey, Jules. Hey, Alice. Okay, hey, Alice. Hey, Book Downey. Hi, Ampera, San Jose. All right. Terravia, Miss Hot Topic, Jesus Girl. How are you? Hey, Gracia. Hi, Rosie. How are you? I am great. Thank you. Let's see who else is on here. Kim, Nadine. How are you? Keeping it moving in the DMV. Okay. Hi, Trisha. Hey, Deborah. Hi, Veronica. How are you? Oh, thank you. How are you guys doing? Janetta and Glenda, how are you? Hey there, Rachel. Chicago. Hey, Chicago. You doing good? My kid called me today. Oh, happy birthday to her. Hola, Brenda. How are you? Hey, Jonay. What a beautiful name. How are you guys doing? CB Makeup. I got to see your makeup, CB. What's your site? I like watching people put on makeup. Hey, Kelly Truck Stop Theater. All right. Hi, Yolanda. How are you? I am great, thank you. Lux is her name. Aw, daddy girl. Hi, Brenda V. Hi, Mary. Aw, thank you, Miss Hot Topic. Thank you so much. I just felt like you guys kept asking me, hey, just be real. You here on time. Thank you so much. You guys asked, so I just wanted to, love lasts forever. Well, hello to you. Hey, New Dawn Arises, how are you? Daddy-o forever, that's what I'm talking about. Hey, Mustang Mary, all right. Ontario, go girl. Okay. Shelly from Rhinelander. Okay, hey. Wie geht es dir? All right, just be real. What you know about some first sergeant? That's good. No, I was about to say no. New Dawn Horizon. That's good. Good to see you here. All right. Teresa, Candace, Nina, Aspect Health. Hey there. You're Aja. Aja from Illinois. Hey there. From yes, okay, Michigan. What'd you say, Michigan? There we go. Hey, Jill. Hey, Bonnie. How are you? Welcome. Salutations to you too, Teresa, Randy, and hello from the. Hey, hello there. Illinois. Okay, Shalonda. You're new to the tribe? Well, Hot Atlanta in the house. All right. Thank you for being here. First time participating. Well, I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Jennifer. How are you? So I can't do tonight. I cannot do Instagram because I left my iPad in my office and it's too far for me to drive to go get the iPad. So I'm just on Facebook and YouTube tonight. So if those people are over, if you see anybody over there, tell them to come on over here because I don't have anything on over there. Hey, Carol, how are you doing? Bantu. All right. Africa. All right. Hi, Kenya. That is my mentor's favorite place, Africa. She loves Africa. She travels to Kenya, Nigeria. She travels all over Africa. You guys might know her over there. But she loves Kenya. So whenever she goes to Kenya and she goes on safari, we get to join her because of the fact that she sends us pictures. We get to see all the pictures. She actually petted a lion. Then they went on a safari. I said, wow. So Kenya is beautiful, beautiful. She even went to South Africa, and it was beautiful, beautiful. Yes, I've heard of Sam Vaknin. I have. Yes. Thomasville, Georgia. Okay. Hey, Maria, how are you? Your mom is in the hospital with COVID in North Dakota. We are so sorry to hear that, Carol. We are keeping her in prayer. Yes, absolutely. Hey, Sharima. Hi, Andrea. How are you? How are you guys doing? Hi, Geraldine. How are you? Glad to see you. Well, see your picture. How are you? Hi, T. Marie. Is it Evie Shelley? How are you doing, Evie Shelley? Good evening to you. Oh, you were watching Camilla's speech? Oh, I came on while she's talking. I'm sorry. Oh, take your medicine. Oh, she was speaking. I'm sorry to interrupt you guys. I'm sorry. You guys want me cut off and let you guys watch the speech? I'll do it now. I'm here for you guys. Oh, thank you so much. Richmond in the house. Thank you so much, Tara. Is it Tara or Tara? Las Vegas in the house. All right. She turned 70. Okay. Well, hey there, Miss Telsha. How are you? Lillian. Hey, Pop. How are you? All is well over here. Yes, sir. Hey, Derek James. How are you? Oh, you want me to stay? Okay, I'll stay. I mean, I didn't want to interrupt her speech because I know a lot of people want to hear her speech. Thank you. I appreciate it. She's talking for nothing. She won't be elected. I don't know, Ted. I mean, not everybody, we'll just leave that at that. We'll just leave that at that right now. Hey there, Yvette. How are you? Hey, Maureen. Latrice. Annalisa. What a pretty name. How are you guys doing? Yep, the holidays are on the way, so you guys be prepared for the holiday hoovers. You guys be prepared for that. So how's everybody doing? Just want to put all my salutations out there and say hello to everybody. Hey, Judith. Thank you so much. Hi, Emma Faith and Chandra Shakira. What a pretty name. What a pretty name. Hi, Michelle. How are you? Hi, Berta. We got a full house tonight. Hey, y'all coming in. Hi, Valerie. Hi, Ruba. Yup. Be prepared for the holiday hoovers, y'all. The holidays are coming in. The holidays are coming, so you guys be prepared. They know that you get very vulnerable during the holidays. So during the holidays, that's when they start to hoover. Hi, Lillian. Dolores. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Ted. What does a holiday hoover look like? That's when you are real, all soft and mushy on the inside, ready for the holidays, and you're very vulnerable. And so you're vulnerable, and during the holidays, some of you guys that are fresh out of the relationship, you're accustomed to being with family, you're accustomed to being with that narcissist. And so what ends up happening is they know that you're vulnerable, and those are lonely holiday the holiday season. And so that's when they start to hoover you to get your emotions all up because you're lonely. You're by yourself for the first time during the holidays. Some of you guys have made it to this point. So some of you guys have, I remember in the very beginning, I was bringing you guys through the first holidays. Some of you guys made it through the first holiday. You made it through the second holiday. Some of you guys, this is your very first holiday, your first holiday without that narcissist. Some of you guys are still new to it. It just happened. You just got discarded. You just, thank you, Joy. You just got, discarded. And so what ends up happening is that you're very vulnerable during the holidays because of the fact that this will be your first holiday by yourself without the narcissist. And so because you're very vulnerable, you're probably very emotional, you're probably lonely, then you start thinking, you start reminiscing. This is what we used to do during the holidays. That's when they start coming, calling you or texting you. Hey, just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving, Merry Christmas. I was thinking about you. And then guess what? Your emotions are all over the place. Then they begin to hoover you. They may come and get some nookie. You guys give up some nookie, you already know you're starting off from ground zero again, heart wide open. So you guys got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. I was just calling or texting you to check on you, see if there's anything you need. And you're thinking they do care. They do care. No, they don't. Yeah, enjoy your money. Yes, honey, enjoy your money. Joy said, we love you, Dr. Carmen. It says, love 100, your testimony and all your video teaching last week broke a lot of chat. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Nookie, yep. Nookie equals heartbreak. Y'all remember that? Oh, love you back too. Love you back. Sending love and support vibe. Let me see. Hi, Sai. How are you? Yup. Bringing sweet with the wrong intention. Absolutely. Yup. Yup. It's our anniversary. He's living with his family at the end of the driveway, and I'm broke in debt, and he's loving it because he wants to see you hurt. They want to see you hurt. Whatever they can do to break your heart, whatever they can do to drive that knife deeper in your heart, that's how they are. They get fueled off of your pain. Thank you, Trenda. They get fueled off of your pain. I look like a mermaid. Well, thank you. I guess, thank you. But yeah, they are like rat poison, absolutely. Is that my cousin? Is that my cousin Cassie? That's not my cousin, is it? I got a cousin named Cassie. But thank you so much, Just Be Real. You say who, I say who back to you. The Wilkins. Thank you. Well, hey there, Tahir Hassan. How are you? See, this is gonna be the first holiday without yours. Yep. See, hey Daisha, how are you? Yep, it's sad. Well, are you guys ready for the questions? It's that dolphin shin shirt you're wearing. Look like I'm in the water, huh? Hey, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you guys for being here. The dolphin skin shirt I'm wearing. I look like a stylish 70s pop star. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hey, Kimberly. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right. Well, you guys ready? You guys ready for the questions? Okay. Moderators, can you guys give me 45 minutes? Do 45 minutes. 45 minutes. You guys ready? Hey, Jay, how are you? Thank you so much. It's actually a dress. It's actually a dress, see? It's a dress. Thank you so much. All righty. You guys ready? Give me 45 minutes. Hey, Grace Light, how are you? Yes, he committed perjury in court, and he left me disabled and homeless and bankrupt. The devil is alive in them, but God is bigger than they are. Just because the devil is doing work don't mean God is not doing theirs. I mean, not doing his. What is the cause for the New Year supply being so angry with the old supply? Oh, the new supply, it's New Year. What is the cause for the new supply being so angry with the old supply? Probably because the narcissist is telling them they are smear campaigning your name. So you are the one that's so hard. Everything about them, they project it onto you. And so hey, Celinda, how are you? But everything about them, they're projecting it about you, on you. And so they have probably told that new supply stuff about you, that you're so horrible. They probably told them, no, a narcissist can't change with therapy. That's a permanent personality disorder. But that new supply is getting information from that narcissist, and everything about you is horrible. Anything that they see about themselves that is horrible, they put it on you. And so they probably already told this new supply how horrible you are. Everything that they're doing, everything that they are is what they're telling this new supply you are. You know, even if, you know, they'll tell, when they're hoovering you, they'll flip it around and make it seem like it's you. You're desperate for them. You don't want to let go. You're taking me to court. They don't tell the part that they're not paying child support. It's just you're taking them back to court. And he or she is money hungry, or, you know, so that's probably why the new supply, because the new supply is getting all the good lies about you. And they're smearing your name. So and that narcissist is developing a flying monkey. And so that new supply becomes a flying monkey. But what she doesn't know is that she's fighting you, or he's fighting you. That new supply is fighting you. And the problem is that eventually they're going to be in the same boat as you are. Because narcissists, you know, unless you keep them around for a long time and just let them keep on. Thank you, just real appreciate that. You keep them around for a long time and you keep tolerating it, they'll just stay with you until they go find another supply. If you let them go, or if they think that you're going to discard, or it's harder to control you, then they start looking for a new supply. But they always have additional supply. Now, keep in mind that all narcissists do not cheat. You know, we said that before. It also depends, like some narcissists are in the church, so it would hurt their image to cheat. And so all narcissists do not cheat, believe that or not, but all narcissists are malignant. They're malignant narcissists, and there's nothing positive or good about them. at all. The new supply has flying monkeys on me for my ex-narc. He uses her to keep tabs on me. There you go. See? See? And they don't know that they're playing into the game. They play into the game. They play into the game, play into this game. Malignant. Go look the word up. Malignant. Hi, Jeanette. Hi there. Hi, Amina. How are you? That's right. That's right, Miss Judith. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep, they flip the script. Absolutely. Yes, they do. Hi, Shosana. Hi, Shosana. I ran his new supply off from me. You know what? Okay, hopefully I said that right. How are you? Hi, Shirley. Y'all are on it tonight, boy. Y'all got the dictionary, the thesaurus. You got latitude and longitude. Boy, I tell you, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. I got a lot of people on here tonight. Hi, everybody. Can I do a video on narc families? You might have to look through my videos. I may have done one. I'm not sure. I may have done one. Hey, Danielle, how are you? I think I have a character in a play who never existed. Absolutely. And a lot of you guys won't. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Riga. How are you? But a lot of you guys won't leave. And the reason why you won't leave is because you keep looking for that person that first presented themselves to you. Well, the person that first presented them to you is the last supply that they were with. And it's like you're running after the first high. Anybody that's ever done drugs or even cigarettes, you'll never get the first high because that very first person that they presented to you never existed. It was a facade. It was a lie. And so you keep looking for this, the person, I know this person is good. I know because I remember when we first met and how it was in the beginning. Well, you'll never meet that person again because that person doesn't exist. They never have existed. They only existed to pull you in. And then eventually it just faded away. And so a lot of you won't leave the relationship because you remember the first high. You remember what they were like. That was not them. They took all the attributes and the good things about that last supply and presented you. You fell in love with their last supply, with the old supply. That's what you fell in love with. You fell in love with the old supply. And then the mask slipped and they started becoming themselves. And they were a hot mess because they are an accumulation of all these different personalities. They pulled all these things that they like about people and created their own little persona. And they're not real. So a lot of you find out that the person that you with never existed. The person that you with is a lie. Everything about the relationship is a lie. The narcs counter parent and alienate our children. Yeah, yep. And they mirror everyone. Absolutely. I'm dealing with guilt. I have 10-month-old daughter who would never have that love from her father due to his narcissistic ways, but I know I made the right choice. Absolutely. You much rather get away from a narcissistic father because you don't know whether that father will abuse that child, misuse that child, and then that child ends up developing narcissistic personality disorder as a way to cope. And they turn inward, and then you created another narcissistic person, and you have to remember aspect, a lot of times the person that created the child may not be the person that raised the child. That person that you and that person may have created a child, but who's to say that person is not qualified to raise your child? So y'all start pushing these kids on these narcissists. You don't know in what the future holds for you. You may have, a man that comes into your life or a woman comes into your life. I'm not saying that they'll make up for all the things that have happened, but they may become that parent, that person to be a father figure or a mother figure in that child's life. You see what I mean? So true. When my ex left, my eyes were open to the fact that he did this, his last girl. See, exactly. He did it to his last girlfriend. Absolutely. And the same thing that they did, they're going to do it again. They don't change. They don't change. They just get worse. When they change, they just get worse. A con artist. Absolutely. You're being alienated. That's all right. You were alienated as a baby. Oh, you were alienated from your baby. But you know what? There comes a time, just like a lot of you guys. Most of you guys on here are adults. I don't think I have any teenagers or anything on here, But most of you guys are adults, and you guys have woken up where a lot of you have said, now that I look back at it, my mother, my poor mother, or my poor father, or this is what happened. Now that I know, now that I see, and this person was malignant, so you were children of narcissistic parents, and you guys woke up, and this is what my mother did to me, and this is what my father did, and my mother always made my father look bad, or this and that, or vice versa, my father. So a lot of you guys have woke up. So don't underestimate your children. Your children are not dumb. It comes a time where they grow up as well, and the truth begins to manifest. They become aware, and sometimes they're living, if they're alienated, they're living with these parents. Don't think these children are not miserable. So a lot of times when your children are alienated from you, don't think for a minute that they are not being abused or misused or mishandled. And a lot of times that the what do we say, the temperature in the home or the environment, is toxic, and children are miserable at home. And a lot of times they are ready to leave, and when they leave, they don't want to come back. They don't want to come back to mommy dearest. They don't want to come back. They leave and don't want to come back home. It is so stressful to deal with. They never take accountability ever. They sure won't. Hey, Jacqueline. No, they will not take accountability. It was all about my mother looking good through my achievements. Exactly. And you were probably the golden child. Hi, doctor. How long does narcissists finally give up on stalking us? When do they stop? Each individual one is unique in their own way. I really can't give you an estimated time or not, because I don't know that. Each one depends on how long you've been with them, depends on the amount of the length of time you've been with this person, how invested you two were, so that's not a definitive answer. There is no right or wrong answer to that. How do I let go? It hurts so bad. The first thing you want to do is get into counseling. Hey, Buffalo, New York. How are you, Kelvin? But the first thing you might want to do, you might want to get into counseling. That's why I advise everyone to do. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Adrian. Hi, Teresa. Hi, Darla. How are you? He's already started love bombing me, and I think he might still be in the driveway after dropping off my son. See? Get your son, go in the house, and don't worry about who's sitting outside. Go and mind your business and do what you're going to do. Don't look out the window. Don't try to see if he's out there, because he'll try to outweight you. Just go about your business. When I'm with the narc, I don't fold into their roles. When I'm with a narc, I don't fold into their roles. Okay, well, you got to stop being with a narc. You are drawing narcs. You got to figure out why you drawing narcs if you're always with them. And then if it's a game to you where I don't fold, you're going to get the right one. You're going to get that greater narcissist. You won't know who it is, and they're going to mess your mind and your heart up. Black sheep, actually, nothing was good enough. See? Let's see. They stop when you stop giving them supply. Sometimes. Please check out Dr. Brian on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean. Oh, thank you. When we stop talking to them. Yeah, that don't work all the time. Each one is unique. Remember that each one of them are unique and individual narcissists. My narcissist ex says he likes to fight back. It's exciting to him. Yeah, it gives them fuel. It makes them feel empowered. Why after leaving the abuse stays in isolation or are paranoid or cry out of nowhere or very anxious? Because you're traumatized. You are traumatized. Yeah, you are traumatized. You love my answers? Oh, thank you. I'm trying to look through all the questions. Hold on. Because a lot of them are coming pretty quick. Mine continues to legally bully and continue to take $941 a month from me from kids he has alienated for 6 years. He makes triple what I do. Who does this? A narcissist? Get you a lawyer. You got to get you a lawyer. Narcs are demons you won't understand until it happens to you. Yeah, a lot of people really don't understand what happens in a narcissistic relationship unless they've been one. So a lot of people that try to argue with you about that's not true and I don't believe that, or you don't know what you're talking about, that's probably because they've never really been with one. And then sometimes they've been with one, but they weren't with them long enough to really mess them up. Well, I got away, and if I got away, you can get away. Okay, you weren't with the right one. You weren't with them long enough. So don't let anybody tell you what your truth is. It's sad, a cycle of abuse meant to spread like fire, and their demonic trinity of destruction that possess kindling fuel and the spark. Compassion is like the log And every time you forgive them, you're throwing another log on the fire meant to burn your soul. Well, Teresa, forgiveness is not about them. When you forgive, forgiveness has nothing to do with them, period. Forgiveness has something to do with letting yourself go. When you forgive someone, sometimes, you're not going to get closure. When you forgive, is freeing yourself up. As long as you are unforgiving, you're holding yourself hostage in the cage. And it's just building, it's like you're putting fuel on the fire, fuel on the fire, fuel on the fire. When you forgive someone, forgiving someone does not mean that I accept what you've done. It doesn't mean that I agree with what you've done, and it doesn't mean I'm going to give you another opportunity to do it again. To forgive you is to free myself so that I'm not torturing my own self to keep reliving and thinking about the stuff that you do. See what I mean? So when you forgive, you let go, but that doesn't mean we're going to be friends. That doesn't mean I'm going to talk to you. That doesn't mean that I have forgotten. That just means I'm letting it go so I can cut the cord between you and I. Because as long as I stay in unforgiveness, as long as I am smoldering in that unforgiveness, you have control over my emotions. But when I cut that cord and I decide I'm going to forgive you, I'm going to close that door, because now you no longer have control over my emotions. The person that you stay in unforgiveness with is the person that still has control over your emotions. I cut off, I forgave. That doesn't mean I agree. That doesn't mean that we're friends. That doesn't mean we have to talk. I'm not your BFF. I'm your baby mama. I don't have to talk. If I have to talk to you, I have to talk to you. I don't care for you. I could care less. I care for you only because of the fact that what happens to you will affect my daughter. Other than that, I don't care. You see what I mean? So when I forget, and think about it, when you're dealing with a narcissist, every day you're gonna have to forgive. Because today you're gonna forgive them for this. Tomorrow they're gonna do something stupid. Today you forgive them for this. Tomorrow they're gonna do something else to get under your skin. If you just walk around in unforgiveness, every time they do something, it's just like a pressure cooker. It builds up, builds up, builds up. That's why I told you guys, you can make a choice. You can be a bitter person or you can be a better person. And to forgive them means that I'm keeping myself free of being in bondage to your power and control. You cannot control me if I choose to forgive you. I'm going to choose to forgive you because you're ignorant and you have a mental disorder. I want to say a disability, but you have a mental disorder, and I feel sorry for you because you're going to do this to the wrong person and you never know what happened to them. You don't know how many people have killed a narcissist. And I don't mean that, I'm not telling you guys to do it. I'm not saying it's right, but the narcissist meets the right one, and that right one loses their mind. And there are so many people sitting in prison right now because they killed the abuser. But of course, they look like the monster. But they have no idea what these people went through when they were being harassed and abused by this narcissist. So it's better for you to forgive than to sit around and heart to a point where that pressure cooker will blow up and then you do the wrong thing. To forgive is to free yourself so you can live. To forgive means you're going to close that door so that you no longer have control. You're never going to find closure with a narcissist. You're not. They're not going to allow you to close the door. They don't want you to close the door. That's the control that they want. They want that control, so they're not going to close the door because they want to keep entering in and stabbing you in your heart. That is their whole goal. And if they can't get to you, what they'll do is they go through your children because they know that your children are precious to you. They'll do things like send them pictures, anything. Send them pictures, have conversations with them as if they're actually talking to you. You can look at some of their conversation or listen to their conversation or look at some of their text messages, and you can tell that the conversation that they're having has nothing to do with them, but it has everything to do with you. So they know that if I can't get to you, I'm going to go to the person that's, hey, John, I'm going to go to the weakest person around that I'm going to affect, because you know that the kids are affected emotionally by the narcissist. And so they know that they can get a reaction out of you. When you are in unforgiveness, you're always going to react. You are. And you want to respond. You got to do something opposite than what you've been doing, because what you have been doing up to this point is not working. So you have to switch up what you've been doing. The power that they have is the power to make you react. The power that they have is knowing that you are still heartbroken, so they'll keep poking and prodding at you. You see what I mean? Forgiveness has nothing to do with them. Forgiveness has everything to do with you. Because I can forgive you, and then just like for those of you that were on that empath conference, and an apostle told you guys she's an empath, and Dr. Carmen is not. I am not an empath. I am not an empath. And so I'm in between that. And so you get on my nerves. Hey, I know how to ghost you, and I get my peace of mind. I cut you off and I talk to you when I feel like talking to you. So some of you guys have to learn that, even those of you that are empaths that are so into wanting to fix someone, so into wanting to help someone. Thank you. So wanting to help someone. You have to know you have to take care of you. The helper has to take care of themselves. If you don't take care of yourself, how are you going to take care of anybody else? And so the biggest thing, a lot of you guys have to forgive. And a lot of times that takes time to say it. You say it, I forgive you. I forgive you. If you have to write a letter to that person and write down everything. When I was writing a book, I was writing stuff down, and a lot of stuff was really from me. I couldn't give you guys the book because y'all would have been traumatized. A lot of that stuff was I had to say what I had to say and get it off of my mind. And I wrote for about 5 years. I was writing. And when I was reading what I was writing, it was breaking my heart because I truly was saying what I had to say. And then finally I said, you know what? I'm going to forgive you. And the reason why I'm going to forgive you, number one, I know I have to free myself. But number two, you have a mental disorder. And you have a mental disorder. You don't even realize you have a mental disorder. And what you don't know is that you're digging a hole for yourself. And I feel sorry for you. Hey, Ricky. Hey, Ricky Lynn, but you're digging a hole in there for yourself that you don't know the next person that you're with. You don't know how stable or unstable they are in their mind. And I didn't kill you. And, and I didn't kill you. And I refrained because I had to get out of it before you got hurt. So God be the glory, but I had to get out of there before you got hurt. And so for some of you guys, you got to get out of there before you mess around and hurt them. So really, whether they discarded, trying to beat you to the discard, or whether you discarded, it really saved them and saved you. But to forgive them is to close that door so that those feelings don't bubble up, and to free yourself. As a matter of fact, my big sister did a video. You guys go on Periscope and look for Kathy Gibson. It's Pastor Kathy Gibson, but it's Kathy Gibson. And if you go look at her Monday's video, her and Apostle Warren were talking about forgiveness, and it was awesome, awesome teaching. You guys go and on Periscope and look for Kathy Gibson, and she and Apostle Sadler did a video on forgiveness. They were talking about forgiveness, and it was so good because it talked about the spiritual aspect of forgiveness and how you're holding yourself hostage. And it's almost like a festering wound. You won't put bandage on it. You won't clean it. And it's festering. And so because you won't clean it and put a bandage over it and to close that wound up, you leave it open for it to be, flies to get on, maggots to get on it, for it to get infections, So that's what unforgiveness is like. But go watch her video. She talks about forgiveness. Yes, I'm an empath, and my ex-narc almost destroyed me spiritually. See? I'm so sorry they left you alone like that. Okay. Hey, Tamelia and the Black Butterfly, how are you? Why did you return? It takes time. Don't beat yourself up. It's like relapsing. When you come out of drug and alcohol, inpatient treatment and stuff, it takes time for you not to have a relapse. Sometimes you relapse, but just because you relapse one day doesn't mean you just go all the way backwards and start all over again. If you relapse, get up and do it again. So, you guys are coming out of these relationships. This is the most awkward and abnormal relationship that, it took me 6 years to forgive. I'm not gonna lie. It took me 6 years to finally forgive. 6 years. But, and it finally registered. You know what? I'm gonna forgive you. I'm gonna stop holding myself hostage. And when I stopped holding myself hostage, I felt free, because as soon as I forgave, he did something else the next day. They can't help themselves. It's almost like, I hate to use this word because it sounds so, I'm not going to say arrogant. It sounds bad, but it's like they're pathetic. It's like, you are pitiful, pathetic, because you don't realize you have a mental disorder. And I also want to make this comment. Sometimes I have to laugh at some of the comments because sometimes we over spiritualize too much. And I have people on there say they're clones, they're Satan in flesh, they're walking monsters, they're this, that. Okay, yeah. So I believe that there is a spiritual realm, and I do believe there's a natural realm. Obviously, first that which is natural, then that which is spiritual. So I do believe there's a natural, and then there's a spirit. So with the natural, you got to understand that these people that you're dealing with are people that have been severely injured as they were growing up. And the personality develops as they're getting older. All children's personalities develop. They're discovering themselves. They bully. They you got competition in school. You got the jockeys. You got the cheerleaders. You got the girls that are the cheerleaders. You got the jockeys. You got the this. So some of this is during the development of personality and during the development in childhood and everything. This is just a part of the process. But when you're dealing with a person that has developed narcissistic personality disorder or cluster B personality disorders, I think I got that right. Cluster B personality disorders, borderline personality disorders, psychopath, sociopath, which is now antisocial personality disorder, histrionic personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder. All those disorders, if you look at the history, a lot of them have been traumatized. Now, some of you are thinking, well, this one was the golden child. They were cradled, they were coddled, they were yeah. But think about it. That's also a very that's also, they hate themselves. They hate everybody, including themselves. So of course they hate you. But they developed this personality disorder because it was cluster B. It's like the defense mechanism turned inward. They turned inward because it was too much to have emotions to go out. And so they turned inward. So everything in life, everything is negative. Everything that they get, think about it, a narcissist can't even have a regular conversation to ask you for something. They ask you for something, they're going to manipulate to try to get, because they already know that you might possibly say no. So they've got to manipulate, to force. If they want something, they take that thing, or they manipulate you into getting that thing. They don't have common sense, because of the fact that they have been hurt. They don't have sense enough to say, hey, I need to ask you a question. Can you? And you're thinking like you're talking in all these circles and you're manipulating. You're telling me about myself and how awful I am. And then all because you want me to say yes, because they know that it's probably a no. So they're going to manipulate you. They don't know how to get their needs. Yeah, some of them have attachment disorders. Some of them grew up in narcissistic families. So that personality is dysfunctional. So they grew up dysfunctional. And as they got older, by the time they became 18, 19, 20 years old, it became a permanent personality disorder. And as they get older, it gets worse and worse and worse and worse. And you can't change that personality disorder. That is their personality. My personality is my personality. You see me on camera, you see me in person, I am who I am. You get on my nerves, I might walk off. When you turn your head, I might walk off. Or I might just shut down and get quiet. Like, you get on my nerves. I'm a very straightforward person. What you see is what you get. That's just my personality. I was like that in the military. That's just me. So there's certain things about a person's personality that, thank you, there's certain things about a person's personality is not going to change. It's just not going to change. It's just a permanent part of your personality. Well, a personality disorder is a permanent part of dysfunctional personality disorder. It's a mental disorder. It's a mental health disorder. It's a mental disorder. Yeah, attachment disorder. That's actually a real thing. Haha. So, attachment disorder is actually an actual diagnosis. But you guys are laughing at the wrong thing. You got to read it before you start laughing. It makes you look bad on camera. But hey, Camilla, how are you? So you got to remember that, and sometimes people over spiritualize everything. That's a permanent personality disorder. So then I think someone said, you need to go back and read, because I can provide you with some information to show you that, what is it? That these, I don't know what the person says. I can provide you with proof about alien or something like that. These are not aliens. These are people that have a personality disorder. And I think the question was, then why do they all act just alike? Okay, just like I said before, why does everybody with depression look very similar? A lot of them, a lot of time you can't tell a person has depression. Look at Robin Williams. He committed suicide, but he was depressed. But people could pick up on some of his depression. Look at people with autism. You have different levels of autism on a scale. Why do a lot of them act alike? Down syndrome. You look at people with Down syndrome. They have the same close set eyes. They have certain features in their face. A lot of them look exactly alike. They're just different nationalities. And a lot of them act very similar. Why do people with schizophrenia have some of the same running themes? Why is it that people have, they call cognitive or intellectual delays? They used to call it mental retardation, mild, moderate, or severe. So why is it that a lot of them, they act or sound very similar? Because it's a cluster of symptoms that provide you with a diagnosis that points out major depressive disorder. You may have 2 or 3 weeks of a major depression, and then you might bipolar disorder. Why do you have 2 to 3 weeks of depression, and then you have hypomanic or manic episodes 3 to 4 days? Those are a cluster of symptoms that point out the diagnosis. Well, a narcissist is the same way. 5 out of the 9, if you look at 5 of the 9 traits, they have to have 5 of the 9 traits to qualify for that diagnosis. It takes a clinician to diagnose that. So even though you guys are coming in, okay, y'all, you getting on my nerves now. But anyway, so just because, you got to have in the diagnosis, in the manual, when we do diagnosis, they've got to fit 5 out of the 9 traits to qualify for a narcissistic personality disorder diagnosis. Well, when they do the diagnosis, it takes a clinician, it takes a psychiatrist, psychologist, a clinician to sit down and to do specific tests and measurements. In order, there's certain tests that that are done to determine whether that person has the diagnosis. Usually, the first telltale signs for me that a person might have narcissistic personality disorder, because of the fact a lot of the characteristic and the traits are very similar, is when people have signs and symptoms of borderline personality disorder, because borderline and narcissism kind of blend in with each other. And so usually that's a telltale sign. I watch it. Not everybody with borderline personality disorder has narcissistic personality disorder. However, there's a high percentage of people that have borderline personality disorder that also have co-occurring disorders of narcissistic personality disorders. Is a high percentage. And unfortunately, you guys, according to studies, those people that were actually tested, and they studied and tested, they tested them to get the diagnosis. Statistically, the narcissistic personality disorder is a higher percentage in males than in females. And then there's a high rate of borderlines that also have narcissistic personality disorder. And so you guys got to remember, there is a scientific explanation behind it, just like an empath. An empath, a lot of time people super spiritualize an empath. Well, if you guys would have been at the conference, you would have learned a lot. Sometimes we super spiritualize empath, but there is a way that you are physiologically created, and a lot of you guys have been through trauma. And so just like the narcissist has gone through trauma, empaths have went through a lot of trauma. It just so happened you ended up on the other end of the spectrum than the narcissist, because an empath can be just as bad as a narcissist, believe it or not. Not all empaths, we look at these little angels and on fluffy cows. Empaths can be just as bad as a narcissist. They can be just as bad. You're just on the other end of the scale than the narcissist. But a lot of you guys have been through a lot of trauma. So one broke off on one side and one broke off on the other side. And there's actually a physiological, a medical physiological explanation, for several different ways that your brain has developed to make you hypersensitive, to make you highly intuitive. There are different there's different diagnoses like sensory disorder. There's also the mirroring neurons. There's a lot of things that play into, because that is a natural gift. Not a spiritual, that's a natural gift. Empaths are actually wired that way. There's a certain way that you're wired, and there's a certain way that your brain functions. And so a lot of times, I see people, they get super spiritual and real spooky when you're talking about the empath, but an empath is actually wired that way. There's actually a medical and physiological way that an empath is wired to make you sensitive. Some empaths can taste colors. Some empaths, when you hear music, you see numbers. Why do you think that they teach you when you have a baby, let them listen to a lot of classical music? Because it enhances their numeric skills. Some empaths taste colors. Some empaths see numbers when they hear music, or they see symbols, or even when they're eating, they may feel shapes. They may be super sensitive to sound, smells. So there's a certain way that, empaths are created. And so sometimes we have to, you guys should have been at the conference. See, you should have came over to the empath conference. You would have learned a lot of stuff, because I usually focus on the clinical side, and then Apostle focuses on the spiritual and biblical side. And so, empaths grow. So you go just like the narcissist, you go from the lower to mid to greater narcissists. The empaths go from the lower empaths to mid-grade empaths to the what we call them, the super empaths. So they're just like the narcissist. There's a scale and there's levels in narcissism, you know, and there's what is it? The scales of narcissism, the low, mid to greater, just like the empaths. You have the low, mid to super empaths. And so you go from the young empaths that don't know anything about themselves to the more skilled empaths that understand that natural gift that they have and how to maneuver without absorbing everything. So yeah, there's still levels on both sides. It just, some of you guys went through the same thing and one ended up on one side and one ended up on the other side. So and empaths can be a doozy too. Empaths can be no joke. And when I say no joke, I mean vicious. Empaths can be vicious. They can be. They could be something else, you know. So sometimes we just over spiritualize some things. And I'm a believer. I'm, you know, I confess my faith all the time. See, super sensitive to sound, smell. Like I said, some people laugh when they hear people can taste colors. That's stupid. I can't believe that. Some empaths can taste colors. Some empaths, when they're super sensitive to sound, and they also see numbers when they hear music. If you listen to Kanye West actually sees symbols with music. And he had a picture drawn where he sees like cylinders when he hears music. And so you'd be surprised. Now, I don't know whether he's an empath or not, but I'm just saying. But there is different explanations. And once I set up my site, you guys can pay for some of these classes. I'm going to talk about the clinical aspect of the empaths, and you guys are welcome to pay for the class and learn some more stuff about you, you know. But some of you guys should have been at that Calling All Empaths conference, because we talked about it from the clinical and spiritual aspect. But a lot of times people just super spiritualize stuff. Then they get on like, you're a clinician and you always trying to bring some science to it. There is a science behind it. Don't dismiss the science. It's just proof that it exists. And some empaths, I mean, not some, but empaths are just created that way. So you do have a natural gift. Let's see. Double shot. I got to find a way. All right. I have no idea what we're talking about here. Yes, this path of empathy is so interesting and joyful. See, and as you begin to develop, as you begin to learn, as you begin to grow, you know, Sharima, you on there? You on the conference? But you begin to grow, you begin to learn. 6 minutes, okay. Great. Yeah, see, Laura, she was there. You were there. See? So you guys miss it. I'm telling you. You're welcome, Teresa. I wanted to participate. I just couldn't. That's all right. It might come another time around. You never know. Do narcotics help narcissists? No. Free writing in a journal truly clears emotional palette. Yup. Doctor, I think you missed my compliment. You look great. Oh, thank you, Double Shot. I appreciate it. You have 220 in chat. Can we please get thumbs up for Dr. B? Oh, thank you. Thank you, Telsha. Financially. Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Teresa. That's all right. Thank you, Miss Marie. That's my sister. You're supposed to say that. You my sister. Enjoy the 60 thumbs up. Oh, thank you. How do we forgive? It is work. You got to work on it. It takes time. It takes time, because when you start working on, think about it, when you try stopping smoking, every time you try to stop smoking, all of a sudden there was a bunch of free cigarettes. You try to go on a diet. Every time I try to diet, the kitchen, you know, our culinary department in the church have the nerve to put their feet in the food. I'm like, I'm supposed to be trying to lose weight. And then all of a sudden I get free food and taste this and take a plate of this. I'm like, now when I wasn't dieting, you know, I had to pay for everything. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? And then I got juicy from eating. You see how it goes? So just like with forgiveness, as you begin to walk in forgiveness, as you begin to practice forgiveness, it takes time. You got to practice forgiveness. Oh, thank you, Miss Marie. But you got to practice forgiveness. And you already know that when you practice forgiveness, they're going to turn it up and offend you every day. I'm telling you, I know they're going to offend you all the time as soon as you start practicing it. I'm telling you. Jamie said, my psychiatrist took a lot of notes on how I was self-healing. She said she wanted to share with other women that are like me. I'm sensitive. I learn daily how to handle my sensitivity and not take on others' emotions hard. Absolutely. Absolutely. You keep on practicing, Miss Jamie. And after a while, you'll be able to be around people without absorbing everything. Because some people actually hear words in the room. You hear chatter. You hear people's voices in the room. You could be reading a book and you can actually hear the characters talking in the book. You can hear what was left over in the atmosphere because you're that sensitive. They also have something called magnetic fields. And so that's all part of the physiological aspect of an empath. Thank you so much, Plan. I appreciate you. Thank you. Empathy can also be heightened and developed due to childhood trauma. That's exactly where it comes from. Growing up on a high alert and placating dysfunctional adults. But a lot of empaths, that's where it comes from. That's exactly where it comes from. Remember, I said that some of them turn to cluster B personality disorders like narcissism, borderline, etc. And then the other ones, especially those of you guys that were traumatized, along with the narcissists, go to the other side with the empaths. I'm a forgiver. I believe I forgive too much. I was myself for 3 years doing well, and then the narcissist came along and I fell in love instead of walking into it. And now I got to rebuild yourself. That's okay. You keep on forgiving, but you have to put up boundaries. You got to put up boundaries. I like to see studies of effects of EMDR on empaths. Good thing. I need to go look it up. Working on that now because it's exhausting. Yup. When you become stronger, it's easy to forgive. A spiritual person has to be dressed with the whole armor of God because the narc will betray you daily. Please be sure to, thank you. Boundaries are very important. That's true. Yup. I really wish more professionals knew this. It depends on, a lot of times professionals are not super interested. Some of them are and some of them are not. They're not super interested in it. You know what I mean? And so they don't take the time. And a lot of them have not been through it. When you've been through, thank you, Kim. But when you've been through something like that, it becomes interesting. Usually when a person is good at what they do and they're passionate to do something or passionate for something, 9 times out of 10, I guarantee you they probably went through it. And they don't want to see other people have to go through it or help other people get through it. So a lot of times when people are good at what they do, it's probably because they've been through it themselves. And they're very passionate about what they're doing. They've probably been through it themselves. So they know what it feels like. And so they're very passionate about helping other people get out of it or helping people through it. You know what I mean? It helped. She said EMDR helped her tremendously. Absolutely. It's good for people that have suffered PTSD. It's a very, EMDR is really good for people that have suffered like PTSD. Laura said, Dr. Carmen Bryant, in my sensory of smell, I have done healing on people through my spiritual walk with God. Okay. Let's see. I became an empath because of the poverty I suffered as a child in poverty. You were traumatized. A narc would do anything to destroy your character, all because they are hurt you left them. Absolutely. Or if they leave, see, another thing is like they'll leave you, and because of the fact that you didn't suffer the way that they wanted you to suffer, they're angry, and so they'll attack you. That's why they attack you. So some of you guys, but I don't understand. He or she left me. Yeah, but you didn't hurt enough, so they're angry, so they attack you some more. The DSM-5 book doesn't cover narcissism enough. Well, see, you got to understand with the DSM talks about, you got to remember the DSM talks about the different diagnosis from a clinician point of view to help the person that has the diagnosis. So the DSM is giving the clinician some information about the diagnosis, how to treat the diagnosis, if a person has narcissism. So they're giving that clinician the information that they need on how to help this person, what you're looking for, how to identify it. But you have to remember that the work that most of us do is helping the victims of the person that has narcissism. And what you don't know is, even though the book says this, what all is included in what they do. How do they operate? How do they function? How do they think? How do they abuse? Most of that, the book would be too long if you added all that in there. That's additional study. That's additional information, just like domestic violence. You don't hear in there, they don't specifically talk about domestic violence. That's a whole separate thing from the DSM. But a lot of people that commit domestic violence have narcissistic personality disorder, may have post-traumatic stress, may have autism, may have this, may have that. You see what I mean? So a lot of times is what a person is interested in that causes them to study more of it. And then they come up with, these are the studies and this is what it says. So I like to go study studies, clinical trials, stuff like that. I like to study things like that to see, and that's why it's taking me so long to finish, to start and finish this book that I want to do. Can you become hypersensitive dealing with a narc? To a certain extent, yeah. Yeah. My time is up. Okay. How do you cope with PTSD? You go get a counselor. Yeah, BetterHelp really helped me to the next stage of healing. Excellent. Yes, Miss Arlene, my little Canadian angel. How are you doing? My little sweetie. She's talking like she don't see my... New Dawn, you know what? Just Be Real to messed you and Telsha up. Boy, I tell you what. New Dawn that came out of his shell. Thank you, Miss Angel. He done came out of his shell. He throwing clocks like Just Be Real is. And him and Telsha having a clock war over here. So okay, you know what I mean? Can I forgive and cut someone off? Absolutely, I did. Absolutely. Yeah, it was you, Just Be Real, came out your little shell, then brought, hey, Miss Natasha, then brought New Dawn out of his, out of his shell. Then Telsha started cutting up. Boy, I tell you. So, all right, so I'm getting ready to go. Thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all. If you guys need coaching, I do coaching services. You can find me at drcarmenbryant@outlook.com. If you send me an email, drcarmenbryant, I know that was a mouthful and really fast, but it's Dr. Carmen Bryant, all one word, at outlook.com. Email me. Don't email me these long emails because what you're wanting is a free consultation. But if you email me a long email, I always say the same thing. Thank you so much for writing me. Thank you so much for contacting me. These are my fees for services. Let me know if you would like to make an appointment with me. So you guys contact me and I will provide you with my fees for coaching. If you are in the state of Washington, I do provide counseling services only inside the state of Washington. My license in the state of Washington, that's it. If you are outside the state of Washington, I can offer you coaching services. Now, some of you guys, I always tell you guys over and over again, some of you guys need to go to counseling first. You can go to my, there's a sponsored link. It's called betterhelp.com/Dr. Carmen. That will give you a 10% discount. And then if you're having financial issues or financial difficulties, let them know and they can assist you with a grant. Now, when you ask for questions, I'm only giving them, I am closing. I'm doing the closing credits. Thank you, Miss Telsha. But when you go and you're searching for a counselor, don't ask them, do you know what narcissist abuse is? Some of them might know, but just ask them, do you understand what post-traumatic stress is? Do you understand what parental alienation is? Do you understand what, complex post-traumatic stress? Do you understand psychological abuse? Yes, I have a YouTube channel. I'm Dr. Carmen Bryant, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse on YouTube. I'm over on the other channel now. But that's the type of questions that you ask them. Ask them questions about the symptomology. I love you back. But ask them questions about the symptomology. Do you understand this? And then let them tell you about it. It's okay for you to vet the counselor. You vet the counselor and then you make sure on Sundays, then you make sure that this is the person you want to work with. But this is what I have to offer. I have a book, Unmasking the Illusion of Perfection. You can find it on Barnes & Noble. You can find it on Amazon. You can get the Kindle, you can get the ebook. You can also, oh, too bad. I'll go back and watch the replay. But also you can find it on Kindle. You can get the hardback, Kindle, ebook, softback. Those of you that are out of the country, you can go to Westbow Press. Westbow Press will send it out of country because some people said they had a hard time getting Amazon or Barnes & Noble to send it to them. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you check out my mentor's YouTube channel. It is Helen Sadler, Destiny Helper. I provide the clinical side, the experiential side, my stories, and I laugh with you. And then my mentor will provide you with the spiritual aspect and the biblical aspect because she is the presiding prelay of Into His Chambers Global Ministry. My Cash App is $ and it's Psychological Health Consultants and Services, Psychological PH Health PHCSLLC. If you look right up under my video, my Cash App and my PayPal is under there if you would like to donate. Thank you guys so much. You can also do the super chats. When you do the super chats, yeah, it's right. It's gonna be right up. There it goes. It's right up underneath my videos. Whenever the videos post, if you go look at all the stuff that I post underneath the videos, it's under the I am not Bugs Bunny, but it is right up underneath my video, and it has the Cash App, it has my PayPal, and those of you that like to donate and give on Super Chat, thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. Make sure you tune in. I'll try to be back this week. You know what I mean? Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys, and I love you guys back. Thank you so much. Love to come back. Hey, I needed a break, y'all. That was Porky Pig. I don't know who that was. Joy, whoever Joy was. Yeah, under the description. It'd be under there. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Oh, thank you so much. Narcissist Domestic Violence Healing and Support, Inc. You guys go check her out. She's awesome young lady. She's an awesome young lady. She has a support group. Yep. Nice meeting you all, too. Thank you so much for being here. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Tomorrow I have a day off. Me and my little child, she doesn't go to school tomorrow, so I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. You guys know I love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful week. Oh, and make sure you check out my little sister. Make sure you check out my little sister. Her name is Natasha's Touch. Go check out her jewelry. She's got some beautiful, beautiful pieces. I love jewelry, and she's got some beautiful pieces over there. So Tasha, put your, natashastouch.com. natashastouch.com. She's got some beautiful, I don't have any pieces on today, but she's got some beautiful, beautiful pieces. Yeah, go check out her website. Go check out her website. She got some beautiful pieces. If you guys love jewelry, she's got some beautiful pieces over there. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful evening, okay? Thank you guys. Excuse me. Thank you guys. Boy, this is the first time I wore my glasses all week and I can actually see. Yeah, she does have very beautiful jewelry. She does. So thank you guys so much. I might have to go to bed with my glasses on. I'm going to just lay in the bed with my glasses on. But thank you guys so much for being here. Hey, I love you guys. Good night, okay? Good night, y'all.